I once heard this great definition in the Boundaries book, a Christian boundaries book, but it was quite good, where they said, oh, not understanding boundaries, and I would add in samsara, in man-made world that is against the organic grain of the Dharma, has you, they tell this story where there's an alien, the alien, lands, and then opens the door and then just falls out because the alien doesn't understand gravity. And so then the alien hurts the alien's leg, but has never had an experience like that. And so then is trying to figure out how to walk, and then has this feeling in the alien's stomach and says, what is that? And somebody says, oh, you're hungry, go get a burger. So then the alien gets a burger and eats it, and then walks out and then gets arrested because the alien didn't know to pay for it. And that's what it's like to not understand the customs and conventions of samsara that don't make any sense. And so all of a sudden you kind of see samsara falling apart, and it's like, okay, okay, this makes sense, finally, and things start to arise that just make intuitive sense. And I have to say, even for me, some of them don't make rational sense. I don't know why I know that's the right thing. I just know that it is, because there's the feeling of resonance. The feeling of resonance is the feeling of being at home. And that's my litmus test for everything. How does that feel? Does that ring, the ring of truth? It is in the resonance chamber of your soul, which all of us have. And so everyone's born with this, but we've been demagnetized. Your compass has been demagnetized precisely like it was on election night. No, Kamala's going to win. Kamala's not winning. Kamala's going to win. And that's where we live, right? Where it's so different from what we know to be true, except for a period of time, you can use force. You can use force to force things into a way of movement, as opposed to the organic movement that I believe is breaking through. I say all of this to say that arousal in the samsaric world is not welcome. It's not welcome for two primary reasons. The first reason is that most people have so much sediment inside of them that when arousal comes up, all of that stuff gets stirred up, and they have disproportionate expressions of everything, right? It's like it's like Tinder, not that other one. It's like lighting, the flare is way bigger than anticipated. You just meant to say, no, I don't want to go to dinner. And you're like, what are you, It's like, oh no. And really, and then here's the worst thing, all of that was because you were experiencing some arousal that you weren't admitting. Okay, so these are the, so that's reason number one, that we're opposed to arousal, in that it brings disproportionate response in a world that prizes numbness. If you look at the news, and I actually did our documentary with somebody who had been a newscaster, and you do it in American broadcast English, and there's only a certain tonal range, a certain expression you can have. You definitely can't move your body. You are supposed to appear numb. That is samsara's version of equanimity, is feeling nothing. It's not like equally feeling all things. It's feeling nothing. That's the best it knows. So that experience of arousal activates things, and that's how we end up with the word triggered. No, you aren't triggered. You've activated some arousal, and it's hot, so it's burning off some old stuff. If you keep it going all the way until it burns clear, then you're just going to have some really incredible bliss. That's all. Then your sensor will be unimpeded, and you'll be able to sense directly and immediately the truth wherever you are. The pain will be in the fact that there isn't a lot of truth at this point in time, but I believe that this could change. I am an endless optimist, but I'm not a, I'm not a tin hat optimist. I'm a realistic optimist, because I believe that all things self-liberate. And that's just, as true as things can be, is that. So eventually it's got to be this way. And I came a few lifetimes too early. I think it might be a few lifetimes from now, but I'm still placing all my bets on that roulette number, right? That enough of us will burn off enough klesha, enough congested material that our sensing organ is perfectly exposed so that we can perfectly know the direction to move in, and united we can move in that direction, and then from that place we can change the world.